Mark Gerzon, Destroying the Barriers and Sharing Values. I first heard about Mark in the end of the Cold War, when he was in charge of a project to bring Soviet and American filmmakers together to end the Cold War on a big screen. I lived in Soviet Union back then, and I have developed distrust to anything that has propaganda, stereotyping, or fake characters. We have been fed since childhood that censored ideas, images, and even songs, but I have assumed that it only was happening in my country and not in a land of freedom. Mark Gerzon has organized entertainment summits in Moscow and United States, created a documentary full of clips from various films that have been made by both countries and scream stereotyping, ignorance, and propaganda. In the 20th century, no other art form is effective in influencing public consciousness as much as cinema. During the Cold War, presenting Russians as enemies allowed America to define its own identity, and at the same time is one of the reasons that the Cold War lasted so long. On the screen now you can see few books written about the Cold War in Hollywood, and also a typical portrait of Russian from Rocky IV in 1985. His name was Drago, and he is cold-blooded and unethical Soviet, and boxing match with Rocky, and definitely can serve as a metaphor. Mark is one of the people who works and continue working on destroying the barriers in communication. What kind of barriers still exist even now in 21st century? Stereotyping, simplifying of unknown, still present in media, including the film industry. Filmmakers are still biased, limited in their sources of information and in their storytelling. The money, box office success still play a major role when filmmakers create or venture to create a movie. Politics, ideological underpinning of the media is still present. It doesn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. The culture of the society or country, leading ideology, the mindset of people still as important as ever. A person who lives in a particular country, in part of the nation, grow up there, he cannot just shed the cultural, ideological or applications. Technology, yes, technology was a barrier in 20th century. What has changed technology-wise in 21st century? So what has changed technology-wise? Social communication technology, network infrastructure, internet, proliferation of smartphones, cheap portable recording devices definitely influence how people communicate using images, videos between each other. Where in the past we had limited sources of video or image kind of information, now we have multiple sources. People in faraway places who are not able to make movies now are able to produce sometimes even professional quality documentary. Before it was one story, one storyteller. Now we have multiple storytellers that send their videos to YouTube and other video sharing platforms. There is a traditional mediated kind of relationship. Now we have unmediated relationship between people who consume media and people who produce media. People who consume can produce too. People recording their own videos everywhere, faraway places, using very simple devices and submitting videos on the file sharing or video sharing internet services. They have their own experience and they want to share that with the rest of the world. That's how you break the barriers. You give power to people and it's empower them. You see the world from the perspective of many people, not just perspective of one person or few selected people.